see one of the worst things I could ever possibly imagine, bro.
You naked?
No, that's a beautiful thing, man. You can ask the next door neighbor, yo, open the door, yo. Right?
He was about to go so dark.
I know. I gotta cheer it up a little bit. Kenny was total dark.
Yo, she saw a woman's hand, and inside the woman's hand was her baby's hand.
Oh,
yeah, that shit was bugged out. But my problems, my asthmatic problems, are stemming from 9/11 too, because I worked down there and I was there the day of. I saw everything go down. That's a whole nother topic for another podcast. But
9/11 podcast.
I was literally there watching these planes go into that building. That shit was fucking bugged out.
They're saying a lot of people got those, like, cancer diagnosing because of the stuff that was in the air.
But
that's the shit. When those buildings came down, though, when those buildings were coming down, I remember being on Boulevard East watching. Yeah. And the big gust of it was so windy, the cloud fucking gust was coming to the Jersey side. Yeah. Because I remember my house and fucking having like shit on my shoulders and shit from standing there watching that shit.
The first building had fell. I was inside of the courthouse building. And then they evacuated us because they said building 1 had fallen. So, boom. We run out. When we run out, and the streets that they had blocked off, they had us running a certain direction to get away from the shit. Yep. It led us closer to the fucking tower. And then that tower started imploding. And all that shit just covered us as we were fucking running out of there. Yeah, enveloped you. That shit. I live in Washington Heights, 171st Street on Broadway. I walked home from down there to 107th. That was the longest walk I've ever done in my life.
I was in Midtown on 34th Street, and it was more of it was on TV in the office, and you saw it, but you saw, just the smoke rising, and then the second one happened, and then the events from there, and the people, it was, early, it was on the earlier side, right? They had everybody gather, and they're like, we were situated right by the Empire State Building, and they're like, we're near the Empire State Building, so we don't know, given what this looks like, since it's such a big landmark, we should get away from it. Yeah. Go to one of our other offices. Yeah. So we trooped it up to 42nd. Everything happened, and I lived in the Bronx. I lived in right across from LaGuardia area. Can't think it, near Castle Hill and end of White Plains Road. And I had to walk back.
You walked from there all the way there?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's a long walk.
I walked 4 blocks back to my house from Boulevard East. I don't have a deep story like you guys. I feel left out, and I should make one up now.
Yeah, but anyway, going back to that, we kind of blaming that on my mom's cancer. When she first got it, though. She only cut one boob off, and we kind of was telling her just do both, just to prevent it, because they say that's a great prevention plan.
Yeah, but that's like someone telling you cut off your left nut.
Yeah, exactly. So she only did one, and then she did the fake boob, right? Then when she did it the second time, when it came back again, this time she had to remove the other one. She was like, I'm not going through the hassle of doing the whole boob job.
Why bother?
Yeah, why bother? I don't care. I have nobody to impress. So she just did it. And my mom
she's at that age where it's like whatever.
Yes, whatever. My mom is chilling, watching TV, living her retired life, And what she hears me say, because we make fun of her in this cancer shit all the time, she just sits there and laughs, and she joins in on the jokes. So that's why if y'all listening, who's ever listening, the jokes I say is because it's coming from a happy place of my mother surviving this shit. Yeah. And I told Ant, I was like, yo, let's talk about cancer and make fun of this shit. Like, he was like, no, I don't think we can make fun of it. I was like, yeah, we can, because my mother survived the shit. I can make fun of this shit. My mother, I feel sorry for the ones that didn't. But my mom survived it, so why can't I make light of it? That's how I see it.
Well, everybody has to go through it. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Everybody copes in a different way.
Exactly.
Like, I do the fuck cancer jokes all the time, too.
Him over the way he does
and you had cancer.
You do it.
And you had cancer.
I didn't have something as serious as what your mom had.
Yeah, but you still have surgery you had to have.
You still had a cancer surgery, whatever it's called, I don't know the specific terminology.
Epipendymoma. Neoplastic epipendymoma.
Anybody on your side?
My mother.
Oh, wow.
Pancreatic cancer. She was 65. And my sister, who was in her 50s from esophageal cancer just a couple years ago.
Passed away? Both?
Both.
Well, I know your mom with the pancreatic. That's like 100%. you're going, right? If I'm not mistaken,
like 99%, because you have like Ruth Bader Ginsburg
prostate.
With
I think you're thinking of prostate cancer.
No. What he's talking about is they never catch it until it's already stage 4.
Yeah, pancreatic
almost 100% of the time because there's no signs.
So it's like a 0.1% of surviving. Jeez.
Not surviving,
remission,
lasting longer.
Yeah,
because I think you always have it.
That shit.
The question is, do you even with breast cancer? Do you always have it? I don't even know because I know they say when you remove both breasts because niggas could get breast cancer too.
There's basically 2 ways, right? And I'm not the doctor just because I'm white here. Yeah. But one is...
well, you're the one with the medical card.
It's genes. But sometimes those genes are inherited and they pass that along, right? No matter what. There's some that don't pass along.
No.
And then the second way is something changes the genes in your own body.
Which
to form it.
Like the 9/11 thing.
Right when you smoke.
According, you see, they ask you if there's anybody in your family that has cancer because it could be hereditary. And then I was speaking to doctors when my mom had it, they said cancer is not hereditary. Everybody gets it. Anybody could get it.
It's a mutated gene, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's not.
It can be hereditary, but anybody can get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like my grandmother. My grandmother passed away from ovarian cancer. Right? My mother's mother.
Or maybe it isn't passed. Maybe it's you have a better chance of carrying it because...
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So my mom, she wound up having like ovarian cyst or whatever, something like that. It's kind of like ovarian cancer also.
Yeah.
So she was like real scared about that shit because that's how her mom passed. But it is a gene that you can carry. It doesn't mean that you're going to get cancer. But if it runs in the family, sometimes you have a higher chance. Yeah.
Like my mother-in-law
what happened to
and
your
my
mom?
Sister-in-law got lupus.
Well, that's not cancer.
I think that is a cancer, isn't it?
No, that's like a degenerative joint.
I'm not doing housing MD over here.
I think it's different.
Nigga, you white, so
it's different.
We asking you. You got the
medical card, bro. You're the only here with the medical card. So you're fucking Dr. P. He's Dr. Paul today.
Dr. Paul. So
no, but if it
how do
runs
we
in
get
a family,
rid of cancer, Dr. Paul?
Smoke weed, apparently, because it kills cancer cells.
To me, I've been trying to get my mom to smoke. She won't. See, the thing is, my mother's never smoked and never drank alcohol before, so it's her body's fucking clean, immaculate. You know,
all you gotta do is like blow some smoke in her direction. She'll get high as fuck.
I gave her CBD gummies without her knowledge. Without her knowledge, I was like, "Your mom, you want gummy bear?" She's like, "Yeah." She started eating it, and next thing you know, I bounced. My brother calls me like a day later, like 2 days later. Dude,
what did you do to Mom?
What the fuck did you do to Mom? I said, I gave her CBD. Yo, dude, she's been sleeping for like 2 days. I was like...
And we're all out of cereal
I was like, yo, she not eating? And no, she wasn't eating. It wasn't giving her the munchies. It was just making her sleep.
I wish I had that.
Did you give her a whole bag, though?
No. I gave her one.
I was going to say, because she might have just kept eating the fucking gummies out of the bag.
But those gummies and candies are ridiculous.
Nah, not to me. They don't do nothing to me. Because I think because I smoke so much, it takes a lot of edibles to get me high.
Well, that's the same thing that he said that time I showed him the cookie that I had that one time.
Nah, dude, I wasn't smoking as heavy as I smoke now. When you gave me... Yo, this nigga gave me a crumb. A crumb. I ate it. I mean, our boy...
Fucking mouse.
Yo... I ate it. I was fucking high as shit.
See,
my other boy was high as shit. My other boy was talking to my hoodie that was on a pallet that he thought it was me.
The person who gave it to me told me, he was like, yo, these cookies are super potent. So I'm there like, all right, well, I never had any edibles, so I don't know. Like, to me, what the fuck is potent? But I know Rob smokes. So I'm like, yo, Rob, here, try this.
You're the expert.
I'm like, here, try this. I heard, like, all you need is a crumb. And he was like, that's fucking bullshit. Even though the other dude I gave it to, he gave me a dirty ass look like, you motherfucker, you gonna give me this little tat.
Yeah. Yo, he goes, yo, you got all that, you gonna give me this little piece? He's like, nigga, just eat it. He ate it. Like, yo, 20 minutes later, bloodshot red. He's like, yo, where are we?
Talking to the wall. Because Rob had his sweater hanging. And he's there thinking that he's talking to Rob. And Rob wasn't even there. It was just his sweater hanging on the wall.
Rob's just standing behind him, looking at him like...
But me and Rob were both looking at him for like 20 minutes, like, what the fuck is he doing? And then when he finally realized it, he got hot and turned around and he was like...
standing there, or was he having a conversation?
He was having a conversation. And he was like, yo, what the fuck? This nigga ain't responded. He turns around, he sees us. He's like, who the fuck was that talking
He turns around, pissed off as hell, because he's like, yo, I'm talking to Rob. That nigga's not talking to me back. It's like, Rob's right here, nigga.
That was a monumental comedic moment for me because that shit had us laughing for hours. I was supposed to be in and out of there at the spot I was in and out of there half an hour. We stayed there for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours laughing.
Yeah, that shit was fucking
Mind you, I was so fucking high. I was like, yo, I'm not getting behind the wheel right now.
You should never operate machinery while
but mind you,
the influence.
Yep. I'm there looking at them like, these are two niggas who smoke weed, you know, pretty frequently, right? So I'm like, and those tiny ass little crumbs, I can't fuck them both up.
Yep.
So I was like,
I'll just lick it.
I'm there like, yo, I could just sniff the cookie. I ain't gonna lie,
that shit. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was fucking. I never ask anybody, like, you got more edibles? Because most edibles that I eat are trash, besides my wife. My wife fucking makes...
Well, that's good. Your wife is
poisonous
trash.
Fucking shit. Yeah, that shit be fucking having you, like
convulsions and seizures and shit.
You're looking at your apartment ceiling and you're like, yo, those stars are mad nice tonight.
Was she putting in your cookies, LSD?
Yeah, shit, dude. I don't know what the fuck it is, but her shit was raw. But second to none was that cookie that you brought. I've never had anything that strong.
Where'd you get that from?
He used to make his own shit.
Got it.
So it's imported.
He doesn't do it no more. That's why that was like a 1 or 2 time deal, and that was it. He got his house raided by the owner of his property, and
are you serious?
Yeah, they robbed him, and the super was like, "Oh, if you want to call the cops, go ahead. I dare you.
Have fun."
So my man was like, "I can't do that shit no more."
Oh, I would have taught somebody a new one. Somebody would have got it.
Yep. That's what did that shit.
Got it.
Because he was selling that shit and everything all over the place. He was using FedEx. Nice. He had that shit saran wrapped and ziplocked, and fucking like 8 bags later, you'd finally get your cookie in the mail.
That nigga was the ghost of New Jersey.
He's charging like $25 a cookie too.
It sounds like it was worth it though.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that one cookie will last you a month if you eat it correctly.
Oh, he used crumbs.
Crumb a day.
Yeah, it was like a good 6-7 inch cookie, like round.
Yo, dude, this shit was raw. I ain't gonna lie. But to me, that should be given to every cancer patient because it has cancer benefits.
Well, they're saying it helps.
They do, at least in this state, New Jersey.
I think that's why they told me I qualified.
Kids can actually get medical marijuana too.
Well, they're giving the kids that CBD oil.
Yeah.
They're not giving full-blown marijuana.
Yo, did you ever see that video with it was an older guy, and I think he had like permanent seizures, like he just couldn't. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is that shit called, where you just can't stop moving all the time.
Parkinson's.
Maybe Parkinson's. Yeah.
He was like had the shakes.
Yeah. But his case was so severe he couldn't even hold a glass of water.
He smoked and he stopped the seizures, right?
Within like an hour.
Pulls, and he sat down, and within an hour was the first time in years that he's ever sat still before
and had a normal conversation.
That's the power of this shit, but they want it to be illegal.
But they rather you dope up on opioids and fucking,
like that Robin Williams movie.
Which one?
Patch Adams?
No, not that. I don't know. There's one where
I've never seen that.
The patient, like, they were giving him so many drugs and he took him off their drugs or something.
I don't even know. I only seen a few of his movies.
Well,
and in hindsight, fucking Mrs. Doubtfire, probably the most times I've seen. To me, Aladdin. He wasn't. To me, honestly, I understand he was a great comedian, but I wasn't a big fan of his. To me, he wasn't funny. Yes, I watched Aladdin. I love Aladdin. I look like fucking Aladdin. I know.
You look like the new Aladdin. He looks like the new Aladdin, the one with what's his face, Will Smith.
Oh, yo, that show was whack. I didn't like it.
Well, you look like a non-diesel version of the genie right now.
So do you.
I look like the genie from the cartoon, the big plump one.
Yeah, but back to fucking
save the tatas.
Save the tatas because this
ladies,
shit's fucked up, man.
If you got some shit, get your shit checked. Check those lumps.
I mean, I don't know how.
I love titties.
Any sex, any religion, any race.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about cancer. Cancer doesn't give a fuck if you white, black, Chinese.
And cancer just sits there sometimes, and you don't even know you have it.
Yeah.
And it's just building to the point that you're gonna die in a month. Because I was actually watching one of those TV shows that they're doctors, whatever, that they play doctors. I don't know which one it was.
Doogie Howser MD?
Nah. One of the recent ones. Yeah, probably one of those. I don't know what it was. I'm not sure. I was just sitting there watching it with my girl.
I
think it was. Was it Chicago
Man just
Man?
started again.
Oh, I don't know. It was one of them shows that my wife be watching, and this dude was fishing, and the fish that he caught, whatever, bit his leg, and he had to go in for surgery, and they couldn't figure out why the medicine and the thing to cure the infection from the fish wasn't working. And when they did a deeper scan, turned out he had cancer in his leg. That he didn't care that they had to amputate it. He was happy that you found the cancer. So this nigga was like hugging the dead fish at the end, because if it wasn't for that fish biting him, he would have never known he had cancer in his leg. And I was like, that shit really does just stay dormant until it's ready to kill you.
The tumor I had,